Hello, community. How are you? It's Courtney with Grand Park, and we're really glad that you're here today to practice and to make some time for yourself. I want to spend this week revisiting the idea of an intention, but coming at it through a different way of thinking about it. So I had spoken about in yoga philosophy, there's an idea of a sankalpa. And this is where we remember a quality about ourselves that we want to anchor ourselves in. So something like peace, hope, joy, presence. And that can be really great if you're in a mind frame to give yourself the space to take the time to kind of remember that and come up with an intention. But I wanted to offer a different way of thinking about that. I think it's just important to learn different ways into things to see what works for each of us or each of us in the moment. And so what we're going to do today and this week is I have this deck of cards that kind of have different sankalpas, different intentions. And they each have like a word and then a little phrase. And so I'm just going to kind of spend this week picking a card for us to focus on. And this is a really nice practice. You don't have to have a fancy deck of cards. You could literally just write down, 12 things that you would like to anchor yourself in. And you could pick one of those a day. You could make your own little deck of cards. So I just wanted to share this as a way to think about setting an intention for our practice. And the idea with an intention is that we give our mind something to focus on before the mind decides to kind of run away with a focus that gets chosen for us. So yoga philosophy is a lot about working with the mind and knowing how the mind can be a little problematic sometimes, and how we do have a lot more control over our thoughts and our actions than we often think we do. It's just a matter of learning how to train the mind. So I'm going to pick a card for us. I don't know what it's going to be, so it'll be fun and fresh for all of us, I hope. So the card that I picked is a card that says, listen. Your simplest listening grants profound healing. What a beautiful card. Listen. Your simplest listening grants profound healing. So this is a great thing to work with, right? Especially the thing I love about setting an intention for ourselves is that when we practice something like listening within ourselves, listening to our own bodies, listening to, the dialogue that's kind of framing into our minds. When we get in the practice of doing that with ourselves, I find in my experience, I'm better able to go out and listen in the world. So, shall we listen together? Let's go ahead and find a seat if you're not already sitting. So you can do this part up in a chair. You could also sit on the floor like I am. I like to sit on the floor. It helps me to feel grounded and connected. But if that's not comfortable for you, you can, of course, pick a different seat. So let's go ahead and sit, ground down into whatever you're sitting on or in. And if you are sitting in a chair, let your feet rest down on the floor, so that you do feel that connection to earth. And then from whatever you're sitting on, see if you can find a little lift of your heart. So a tall spine, the head reaching away from your tailbone. Resting your hands maybe in your lap or down on your thighs, whatever feels the most intuitive for you today. And then let's go ahead and settle the shoulders away from the ears, soften in your jaw, and then allow the eyes to close. So I'm going to keep throughout practice reminding us to close our eyes so we can tune into our listening. And in our practice, listening is not only what we hear, but what we sense. Really tuning in, tuning inward to know the nature of our own heart. So start going inside, start listening to the rhythm of your own breath. And without any judgment, just maybe getting some information by listening about how you are right now. So how is the breath? listening to the rhythm of the mind. Is the mind busy? Is it bored? Is it here or somewhere else? And then just listening into your own body today. So where is there tightness? Where is there tension? Where is there softness? And where is there energy? And then let's place our hands on our hearts, listening into your own heart. Where are you emotionally right now? Just listening to it, not fixing it, not denying it, just admitting it, letting it in, letting it fill into your heart, and letting yourself fill into this moment. Maybe even press gently onto your heartbeat to feel the own rhythm of your heart. And then from here, rest your palms back down into your lap or on your thighs. And see if you can start to take a little bit of control over your breath in and out of your nose. Coming into that Ujjayi breath. So this is a constricted breath. It's almost like the breath is traveling up and down the back of the throat. Like your Darth Vader, the sound of the ocean. So see if you can start to hear your own breath moving within the body. Really letting the inhales and the exhales fill in. And maybe notice what happens when you listen, when you tune in, when you draw yourself into your body, into your breath, into the moment that we are sharing together. And then drawing your hands in a gesture of prayer at your heart, bowing your chin into your beautiful heart, setting our intention to listen today. Whatever that means to you, listening to your breath, listening and honoring your body, listening to the information that the practice gives you, or maybe even just giving yourself the space to listen into your own heart, into your own truth, just giving yourself a little space to regroup and ground. Go ahead and flutter your eyes open, and we'll start standing today. So find yourself in your mountain pose. So mountain pose is an active pose. We're stacking the bones on the bones. So heels stack underneath your hips, hips stack underneath your shoulders. Top of the head is stacked on your tailbone so that the heart opens. Arms are at the side, and the head is the top of your mountain peak, and your hands are the base of the mountain. Let your heart slightly come forward, the shoulders come down, the thighs slightly press back, and your heels and the balls of your feet, the sides of your feet, everything is grounding down. Connect to your breath, listen to the breath flowing in this tall, stable pose. And then the next time you inhale, arms sweep tall to the sky. Maybe you look up. Exhale with a bend in your knees. Start to fold your body in half. Let your head go. Inhale, hands on your shins. Reach your heart forward. Head away from your tailbone. And then exhale, forward fold. Let your head go. Let your feet ground down. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. And then exhale, pull your hands to your heart. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms rise, maybe gaze rises. Exhale, fold the body in half, bend your knees, let your head go. Inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches forward, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, let your head be loose and heavy. Inhale, arms rise up, feet ground down, and then draw your hands to your heart. So we're going to do that again 2 times. This time we're going to close our eyes, and that can be a little bit disorienting, but it really helps us to tune in, maybe focus on the breath, maybe really immerse ourselves in the experience of the movement. So go ahead, close your eyes, ground your feet down to the earth. Keeping your eyes closed, inhale, reach your arms up. With your eyes closed, exhale, forward fold. With your eyes closed, inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, eyes stay closed. Inhale, eyes closed, reach your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, hands come into the heart. One more round, eyes closed. Inhale, arms reach tall. Exhale, fold the body in half. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold your heart, release your head. Inhale, arms draw tall to the sky. Exhale, hands draw to heart. Reconnect to your breath. Flutter your eyes open, bring back in your space. And then feet and heels come together. Let's sink our hips back, chair pose. So sinking your hips back, make sure you can see your beautiful toes. If not, send your hips farther back, scoop your belly into your spine. Reaching the arms, extending them over your shoulders. Go ahead and close your eyes here. Listen into this pose. Maybe tune into the strength of your thighs, even if they're shaking. The stability in your heels, even if you feel a little wobbly. On your exhale, forward fold. Flutter your eyes open. Walk your hands out to a plank, step your feet back, and then you decide. So listening to your own body here, if this feels good and energizing, you can stay up. If you're super tired today, listen to that and maybe place your knees down. Whichever way you're choosing, press into your knuckles, lift up out of your shoulders, tune into your breath. Maybe make sure you can hear that Ujjayi breath coming in and out of your body. And then hips come up and back, downward facing dog. So as much bend in your knees as you need. So listen to the backs of the legs. If they're super tight and screaming at you, support them with a bend in the knees. Heels are reaching for the earth. Heart is reaching back for those thighs. Armpits are hugging in. So your arms are really active and holding up most of the weight here. Knuckles pressed down. Head is in line with your spine. No need to hold your head. On your next inhale, roll forward to a plank. As you exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Option to close your eyes here if you want to listen in. Inhale, roll forward to a plank. Exhale, hips come up and back. 2 more times or you rest. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking towards your hands, step your right foot for your right hand, staying up on the ball of your back foot, and then right knee is stacked over your right ankle. Press down into your feet with the stability of the earth. Rise yourself up. Arms stack over your shoulders. You can put as much bend in the back of your knee as your low back is maybe asking, Or maybe listen to your body and you place your left knee down on the earth if you need support today. So grounding down into our feet, rising the heart up. Hands are active. Find that breath. Hear that breath moving through you. Listen in here. Listen to what the body is asking of you, telling you. And then as you exhale, hands come down to the earth. Right foot steps back for the left, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot steps for the left hand. We're staying up on the ball of our back foot. Left knee stacked over left ankle. Press into the earth, and from the earth, grow up to your crescent lunge. So as much bend in your back knee. If you feel a pinching in your low back, please bend your knee a lot. You can also tap the right knee down to the earth and still work with this crescent lunge with this little back bend. Steady your gaze, feel and hear your breath moving through. Listen to your inner strength, your inner wisdom here. And then next, exhale, hands tap down. Left foot steps back, plank to your down dog. So from here, we're going to come into a little flow. And I'm going to encourage us to maybe try to close our eyes and feel in whenever we feel safe and secure to do so. So if you're new to the practice and you need to watch the screen, please, please, please go ahead and do that. But if you've been doing this for a while, maybe even close your eyes the whole time. So looking towards your hands, step your feet. Maybe close your eyes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in half. Here's our flow. Inhale, bend your knees, chair pose. Exhale, fold the body in half. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Step your hands down, step your feet back, plank to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot for your right hand, press into your feet, rise yourself up. It's challenging with the eyes closed, yeah? And then exhale, take your hands down, plank to your downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, left foot steps. Stay up on the ball of the back foot, rise yourself up, crescent. Exhale, hands come down to frame your foot, plank to your downward facing dog. So we'll take a few breaths here. Maybe close your eyes, settle into your breath, hear the breath, listen in. We're going to do it one more time. Option to close your eyes the whole time, some of the time. It's an extra challenge, but it does really help us become more aware of where our body is in space, listening to the breath. So looking forward towards your hands, step your feet. Option to close your eyes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold the body. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, plank to your downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps, press down, rise yourself up, crescent. Exhale, hands come down, plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left foot steps, press down, rise yourself up, crescent. Exhale, hands come down, plank, downward facing dog. And then let's all find a child's pose. So knees come wide, big toes come together, settle your hips back for your feet. And then maybe placing your stacked fists under your forehead, or if your forehead naturally touches the ground, allow that. And then go ahead and close your eyes here. Listen into your breath. Listen into your body. Listen into your spirit. And then if your arms are overhead, keep them there. If they're not, arms up and overhead. Walk yourself over to the right about a foot, and then we'll think about sitting back onto our left hip. Breathing into the left side body. Coming back to center, walking over to the left about a foot. Think about sinking back down onto the right heel. Coming back to center, find your way back to your downward facing dog. We're going to start with the left foot this time, so stepping the left foot in between your hands. Spin your back foot flat. We're coming into a warrior two. So big sink of the left thigh. The outer edge of your back foot is pressing. Your knee is tracking to the left. The hips are facing towards the right, and then the arms extend out from your shoulders. So gazing over that left middle finger, feel in, listen into this pose. Maybe close your eyes for a few breaths. Feel your body taking up space, grounding down. Listening into areas of tension, filling them with the breath. Option to keep your eyes closed or open them. And we're going to inhale, arms rise up and overhead, left leg extends straight. And then exhale, coming back to warrior two. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms rise up, left leg extends. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, arms rise tall. Exhale, warrior two. Open your eyes if they're closed. And then extend that left leg straight. Excuse me, toes come in, heels are out. Big wide leg straddle. And then we'll fold the heart towards the earth. Maybe hands come down underneath your shoulders. You could put something underneath your hands if you need some help reaching the earth, or the hands can be at your hips. So we're going to be rolling out a lot of forward folds for the rest of class. Those are really helpful to go in, to listen, to give our heads a little space, to remind ourselves what's true, to remind ourselves to be in the moment that we're in. From here, we'll take the hands to the hips. If they're not already, inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, stand all the way up. So we're going to come into the other side. We'll just take the right toes back and then sink into the right hip. So we're just facing the back of our space probably. That's okay. Arms come out from the shoulders. Nice big sink of the right hip. Right knee is tracking out to the right. Hips are facing towards the left. Maybe close your eyes here. Feel into your warrior pose. And then we're going to come in for that little dance with the warrior. So next, inhale, extend your right leg straight, arms come up and overhead. As you exhale, warrior two. Inhale, right leg straight, arms rise tall. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, arms rise tall. Exhale, warrior two, flutter your eyes open. And then we'll extend the right leg again. One more forward fold, so toes come in, heels come out. Option to take that variation we just did with the hands coming down to the earth or at the hips. If you want to come into some shoulder opening, be soft. We haven't done a ton for the shoulders yet. You could interlace the hands, puff up your chest, and with as much bend in your elbows, listen to your body, sending the arms up and overhead. And if that doesn't feel right, you can take that first variation. If your hands are bound, gently release them. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, all the way tall. Heel toe your feet. Find your mountain pose. So heels under hips, under shoulders, arms come out as the peak of your mountain. Maybe close your eyes here. Maybe feel the energy swirling through the body, listening to that. Hearing a few strong rounds of your own breath. And then opening your eyes, let's come to seated. So we're gonna come into a series of forward folds. So we'll start with the soles of the feet come together, knees come wide, heart rises tall. And then to any amount, fold your heart forward. So not rounding in the spine, folding the heart towards the toes, like they could reach up and land beyond the toes. Maybe some gentle pressure inside your inner thighs with the elbows. Let your chin release into your chest. Option to close the eyes here and just listen into your inner thighs. Meet the breath into the thighs, like a little dialogue. So if the thighs are like tight, meet it with your breath. On your next inhale, rise yourself up. Take your feet a little farther out from you, so we have like a diamond shape in between the thighs. Hands come maybe somewhere below the knees, maybe around the ankles. Rise your heart again. And then this will get into our outer hips. So walking yourself to any amount, walking the heart like it could lay beyond the toes. It probably won't, unless you're, I don't know, in Cirque du Soleil. Settle your shoulders away from your ears. Close your eyes and listen into your outer hips. Respond with your breath. On your next inhale, rise your heart. Extend your legs to what looks like an L pose. Remember, if you have hamstring tightness, a lot of us do, you can always put a blanket, a pillow, something underneath your hamstrings just to bring the floor and the earth closer. And then we'll find our tall spine. We're gonna come into 10 breaths in our forward fold. So reach your heart for your toes And then in this one, go ahead and let your back round, let your chin melt into your chest, let your head go. And then 10 breaths here. So see if you can really listen to the breath moving in and out. If you practice Ujjayi breath, hearing the breath traveling up and down the back of your throat. And then really listening here. So listening if there's resistance, if there's a response in your mind, in your breath that can soften the resistance, please allow that. Or if there's a dialogue that this is too much, listen to that and back out a little bit. So a few more breaths here, really listening. On your next inhale, roll yourself up, and then let's find ourselves in a comfortable seat again, just like we started. So maybe sitting up on a chair, maybe sitting on the earth. We're going to spend some time working with the breath here. So we're going to start with a simple counted breath. So I'm going to ask you to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold out for 4. We'll do that 4 times. So rest your hands on your lap or maybe on your thighs. Close your eyes. Let your exhale come out through your nose. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Pause breath. 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause breath, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause breath, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause breath, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, and then allow your breath to move back in, taking up the shape of the body however it wants. From here, we're going to move into 2 minutes of meditation. And meditation is a true practice of listening without reaction. So just noticing the habits of the mind. We're not emptying our mind. We're not sitting in a ball of golden light. We're just sitting with ourselves here It may help to give your mind a focus and anchor. So for the sake of our theme in class today, anytime you notice your mind running off, bring your intention back to the word listen. So 2 minutes here, listen. Again, if your mind has wandered off, maybe say the word listen to yourself. Listen. 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 Go ahead and flutter your eyes open. Softly bring back in the room. From here, I invite you to take a comfortable position on your back, setting yourself up for rest. This pose is called Savasana, and this is where we allow the body to receive the benefits of our practice, giving us a little transition to let that all melt in, to solidify before we move out into the rest of our days. So go ahead, maybe all the way flat on the back with the palms up. If you have low back stuff, it might be the most comfortable to bend your knees and rest the soles of your feet underneath your knees, or any other position that would make you feel open and soft and restful. So I'll call us back in a couple minutes. Close your eyes. Give yourself the space to just be here in the experience of your body right now. So starting to bring back your awareness of your breath in your body. Maybe listening to the quality of your breath now. And before we come up to seated, maybe something will come, maybe not, but I just invite you to see if there's anything that your body or spirit wants to tell you right now. Really listen to it. And then taking that good advice, rolling over to your right side, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. Eventually pressing yourself back up to a seat, just like we began our time together, resting your palms maybe down in your lap, maybe on your thighs somewhere. And then go ahead and close your eyes one last time. Feel into your breath. And maybe choosing to bring this idea of listening out into the rest of your day. Maybe affording other people in your life, on a Zoom call, in your house, your listening, your deep, centered listening. Drawing your hands in a gesture of prayer at your heart, bowing your chin into the wisdom of your heart. The light in me acknowledges and sees the light in all of you. Thank you so much for being here with us today. It's such a pleasure to be able to lead y'alls in some healing, some time for yourself. And I hope that you are doing well and you enjoyed class and have a beautiful rest of your day.